to the timeline. So next one coming up, I believe, is the California has a law that allows teacher and school government to involve with gender identity
Oh,
transition, and that the parents gonna be the one who's gonna be blindsided, or the last to know. I think that to me, I really think that's wrong. So for there are many different levels, and personally, first of all, I feel transitioning, gender transitioning, or even coming out sexuality orientation, this is all personal. The government, the teacher, the school should not get involved. If anything, the government should be last, right? Right.
um,
So I think this is a distraction. Okay, this is a distraction coming from Gavin Newsom, and
oh,
I believe he wants attention, and they already know what kind of card they're playing. This is right before Biden resign, right? So this is like, I'm knocking on the door. Make sure you guys know what, hear me. You know what I mean? So I feel it's a distraction, and I feel that it's LGBTQ community got used as a political weapon for this one, and that triggered a lot of reaction, including Elon Musk, because Elon Musk uh, now daughter is a trans person, and he mentioned, he said the his son is dead to me. That's why he said today, actually, on Twitter, X. And actually that's somehow true, because for any transgender person, they know, if they really fully transition, whoever they are previously, it's pretty much, you know,
mm-hmm.
done, done. I won't say dead. I'll say done, we move on, right? Move forward. So anyways, I want to hear your thoughts on this government control, or government overreach, I call it.
Uh, my thoughts on the government overreach. My
On
thoughts
the
on this thing with Gavin Newsom is let me focus on this right quick. My thoughts on this is a giant step totally in the wrong direction. I get that the DNC loves to see themselves, especially nowadays, they love to see themselves as the ally to the little
mm,
guy.
yeah,
But when it
I
comes down to brass tacks and doing something,
mm,
they
right,
do too much.
yeah,
There's a saying, "You're doing too much." They're doing way too much because now what a lot of people don't understand is they did not this what California's done has not taken a single positive step forward to help the LGBTQ community at all. In fact, if anything, it's muddied the waters more, and
worse.
it's going to generate so many more problems like a wildfire over the next 5 to 10 years, because now you've made parents the villain. You've made the
Mm,
parents the villain. They can't say
yeah,
nothing to their children about gender. So if your kid goes to school, we already know children are easily influenced
mm,
by everything they see on TV, the internet, at school, with their friends, in magazines, on the radio, in songs, in movies. They're already it's already started. I mean, it started back when California started having psychologists,
right.
promote this with patients who were confused,
Mm, mm,
and instead of following the prescribed model to
mm,
determine, to help this person determine if they are gender dysphoric or not,
right.
we just jumped in the boat of, oh, there's a bigger boat over there, and it says, just believe everybody, or
Yeah,
tell them, or just pat them on the back and tell them it's all good.
Because
And now you got parents going
yeah.
out of their way to convince their children
Mhm.
that they're gender dysphoric. And I mean, how many documentaries does PBS have to do
Mhm.
for you to see people in their 20s and 30s just crying because they went down this path believing they were gender dysphoric, come to find out later because this is it's all mental and
Minds.
emotional. It takes time to work through these things
Right.
to figure out the truth, especially when you don't know and don't have experience to judge things against. It
Right.
takes time to figure. It takes time to get there.
Yeah.
You get further down the line. Now all of a sudden, the young lady Janet is like, shit. I really was James.
Well,
And James is like, well, shit. I really was Janet. Now they've
or
got
or should I say should I say, well, maybe Michelle is Michael, Michael is Michelle.
yeah. Well, somebody else said something like that to me a couple of days ago, and I was like, I don't get it because it sounded like they were trying to tell me a joke. But I didn't. But either way it goes, is this. Even with the I'm not I'm not a doctor. Okay, let me preface that first. I'm not a doctor. I don't study psychology. I have a few friends that are gay, and I've met and talked with many lesbians, and we had a few that were friends that were lesbian and trans, and I don't really know about I don't really know about the other references because I don't really ask.
Mm,
Because at the same
okay.
time, I'm like, yeah, you cool with me, I'm cool with you. I don't care.
Yeah, yeah,
You know, you're
yeah,
not paying my bills, so really,
yeah.
you know,
True.
I
Yes,
don't really
yes,
care.
exactly.
But I've met people that not met people. I've talked to other people that talk about so and so who thought he was gay, but he's really
Mm,
not.
mhm,
Or they thought they were a lesbian, but they really weren't. Or they thought they were straight, but they weren't, and they weren't
mhm.
sure. I mean, this is not a cut and dry black and white issue. It's not a switch. If anything, it's more one of those real stats where you got to turn in the knob or something. But it's not a cut and dry issue, and it affects people in so many different ways. And this law is gonna, in my opinion, this law is gonna really, really, really damage a lot of families.
Right.
I
Very
want to
true.
say unintentionally, but part of me, to be honest, a part of me actually believes that they knew exactly what they were doing
Yeah,
when they pushed this law through, and they knew
yes,
exactly what it was going to do to the population.
yeah. And to me, just to close out this topic is California has a lot more issues than this. To be honest with you, like,
We've got, oh,
this is not even an issue to begin with,
I
and
know
they
this is,
yeah,
you ain't never like, this is such
and
a non issue. I'm like,
yeah,
why are we
making this
focused
law.
on this? This is such a non issue.
Yeah, and we have like what homeless issue. That's the major one.
The
Economy.
homeless issue is so
Yeah.
bad, you can't, it's very difficult now to go anywhere in California and not see a tent popped up on a corner.
I
And
see
we,
a lot in
I
the
see it here
morning.
in Pasadena.
Yeah, everywhere. In the morning, I wake up early in the morning. I see people on the sidewalk. They wake up too. They like clean
And you want to know
themselves
what's
up
messed
and
up?
dress. And, oh my god.
You want to know what's messed up? The city still pushes those people around. They
Uh,
eventually somebody from the city comes by and pushes them out of there. They got to go somewhere else because no, we got to do
they have
maintenance.
nowhere
We
to
got to
go.
clean. We got to do this. We got to do that. The only difference is now business owners can't be like, "Hey, get the fuck out from in front of my business."
Yeah, a lot of business already closed, and we have very high crime. That's the issue. This is the issue, not gender identity. It was never an issue.
The
Eh,
whole crime issue
yeah.
is that really pisses me off. With all the people that got behind that, that really pisses me off.
And then,
Because they made some decisions that I was like, whoa. There's a
yeah,
million ways you could have addressed that would have cost
yes.
less.
And on top of that, if you talk about costing less, our California gas price is the highest in the nation.
It's about
How
to
about that?
yeah,
See, and then they want to
it's
raise,
about to
and
take
then they
another
raise,
hit.
and then they raise the people who. I mean, I'm not putting anybody down, okay? But they raise the minimum wage for the fast food at the same time they raise everybody's hamburger price.
Mm-hmm.
That's just reality, and
Yeah.
this
And here's the
this
thing,
is
though.
this is an issue.
Here's the trade off
Okay.
with that. The only fast food joints they hurt were the small chains and the mom and pops ones. Those are the ones that really hurt because
Right. True.
they
Yes.
live month to month.
Yes.
The
Yes.
big chains, which is the ones they were trying to affect, like McDonald's and Burger King, they ain't hurting
Mhm.
them because vast
Very.
majority of them
Yes.
are
Yes.
franchises. At the end of
Very
the
true.
day, that franchise is still going to send all the money it's supposed to back to
True.
headquarters. All they did was make it less money that the franchisee owner gets to take home in their pocket.
Yeah. Actually, I believe in the entire America, small business owners percentage is higher than the corporation or
Mm-hmm.
franchising.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and yes,
That's why they did that because
they want to kill the small
no,
business owners.
no, they put the bill for paying that stuff out on the small business owners
Yeah,
because they're
that's
going
what I
to
mean.
figure out the small business owners will figure out how to navigate that, how to bring stuff up to speed. And the big
They
franchises,
can.
all they got to do is follow the train. All the successful small businesses that make it work, the big companies will be like, okay, now how are they making that work? All right, 10 years, we'll follow that train, be business as usual. They ain't got
Yeah.
to worry about it.
See, I just don't
Oh,
get. I don't just don't understand what's wrong with Gavin Newsom. I think he has control issue because remember back in just not too long ago, right before COVID, he put out a mandate for we cannot use plastic straw anymore. Remember that? We're using paper straw. And then
Gavin Newsom
funny
is
thing is,
pan.
if
Yeah, but
now
you got to
listen to me.
remember, Gavin Newsom is
Listen to
pandering.
me first. I know,
Oh,
but if you go to Starbucks or a boba place, the cup they use, which is gigantic, it's
mm-hmm,
plastic.
mm-hmm.
You see? So I don't know that's why I
That,
say
that
he
cup is
has some sort of
plastic.
he have some sort of I don't know what's wrong in his mind, to be honest with you. He 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 has no sense of what's important and what's not.